What's going on, everybody? It's Ricky with Videohomicide, and I am back in the Cinema 187 studio. I got a really cool comment on my upcoming Q&A video by a guy named Nun, and he basically wants to see the process of how a comic book is made. So what I'm going to do is go through 4 different comics and show you the process in which that I made them. I'm not going to be going into like the editing on the computer because that's just a nightmare to fucking show and teach. Okay, I'm not a teacher. I would suggest going and finding a video online to how to collate a book or basic page design, page layouts. You can find videos like that. So what I've got here is a couple of different sketchbooks, and I've got a couple of different comics. So right here I've got Filthy Ralph. This is the OG fucking zine, or not zine, but the first comic that really turned me into a comics maker. I was pretty much directly inspired by cartoonist kayfabe to make a comic. Like, I had made Filthy Ralph comics in the past, but there was nothing that was really, like this, like a sequential book. So with the first issue, I really didn't know what the fuck I was doing. So what I did was I drew every panel like one at a time. So like this right here is the original cover of Filthy Ralph #1, and behind it is all of the single panels. So as you can see, there's little Susan or Susie going up to the elevator, which is page 1. So for a size comparison, like you've got, like, look at, so like this is the panel, and it got squeezed down into this little fucker right here, And like, again, like the thing I did with this first issue that kind of pisses me off is I used computer lettering. I wish, like, in hindsight, I would have printed out all this text and then went over it with a micron and then scanned it in and used it as that way. But, I was kind of in a rush to get it out, and my friend Radioactive Blobfuel actually said, yo, you should do hand lettering. And I pretty much didn't listen to him, and now I got to live with this. And there's some Ozzy Osbourne taking a shit on the next page. Had a blast with this book though, man. But you can see like it's kind of a weird way to do it, because when you're laying out the page, like they pretty much have to be square, unless you do something, off the wall. But like there's something that's about as advanced as I got right there with this like 3-panel layout. Really fun stuff. This is actually moving into the Filthy Ralph issue 2. That's the original cover right there. With the, for fans of the channel, they might know that underneath this, it once said Undead Cannibal Rapist, but I just thought that was a little too far. But shout out to Cammie, who actually used that in a Filthy Ralph drawing she did recently. I guess I could show you this stuff right here. This is the pages to #2. These were the ones that were single pages, but I actually did start Filthy Ralph 2 in the pages of this sketchbook. That tape right there was the first time I ever used stippling. So probably about 2021. Where are you? Neckface. I actually sent that to Neckface and he liked it. Here, oh, where the fuck is it? Right here. Okay, so this, I really wanted to be like Robert Crumb. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to fucking do a comic inside the sketchbook. And I got as far as 3 pages, which is pretty good, because the rest of it I just resorted to an actual, just the regular 5.5 by 8.5 pages that I really like to work on. So this sketchbook's been in my car for like a year. So I dug it out, and there's some cool drawings in there that I kind of forgot about. But the cool thing about this particular collection of pages is in the back. I almost forgot about that. This right here is technically Filthy Ralph #3. So this continues the story. So those of you that have read Filthy Ralph, they know that in the first one, he's murdered in an elevator. The second one, he's in hell. And this third one, he's like escaping from hell. So here he is coming out of the actual grave there, which I think is hilarious. But yeah, I actually did 12 pages of that, or 12 panels. But you know what? It kind of just teetered off. I mean, I might pick up this story eventually, but the real Filthy Ralph #3, I got to redo it from scratch to continue that story, but I don't plan on working on that anytime soon. This right here, I brought this sketchbook out because there's something really important in here. The very first Filthy Ralph comic is right here. So the thing about this, my friend Mike, he was there for this, the beginning, and you know, this page right here that I cherish so much is actually printed on the back of a photocopy of a big piece of weed. So Mike, if you're out there watching this, man, there it is, the original Filthy Ralph comic. I had drawn Filthy Ralph before, but this was the first time I did panels, you know what I mean? Turned out pretty cool. This is actually an old watercolor I did in 2020 of myself. Now, the next comic book that I want to show you, like the originals for, is somewhere lost in this pile now. Here it is. Or the second last, I should say. We've got Filthy Ralph and Little Ricky, okay, which is like my Charlie Brown sort of comic. What I mean by that is like it's 4 panels. I release this on Instagram and on Facebook in sets of 4 panels. So every Monday there's a new set that comes out. This right here is the last story I did, Pawn Shop Funnies. I just finished up Out on Parole, which is still being serialized on Instagram. But the way that I make these ones, 666 in the comments if you know who this is. Got to dig out 2024 right here. So what I did with this one is I drew it in sections of 4. So every page has 4 different drawings on it, and that's how, you know, this is actually Out on Parole. These are the pages to Out on Parole. I don't know where the fuck the other pages are. They must be deeper in here, because I actually started the Out on Parole story. Oh, here we go. Here's Pawn Shop Funnies. Yeah, so for instance, like the scene where they're sitting on the couch and they're watching Cannibal Holocaust, which is perfectly appropriate for a little kid. It's actually the centerfold. Where is it? Here it is, right here. So there's the candle. Like for size comparison, it's pretty much the same size. Really like the way that turned out. If you want to like more in-depth version of how these are made, I'm probably going to do that in the future. But the last comic we're going to take a look at is probably the best thing that I've made technically. And shout out to Sawblade666 and Cartoon Ryan, who actually reviewed my zines. In particular, they loved Blood Drunk. Okay, now this is 5.5 by 8.5, this comic right here, and I'm about to show you the original art. So for size comparison, this is 9 by this is 9 by 12. Or it can't be. No, this isn't 9 by 12. Sorry, this is slightly smaller than 9 by 12. This binder is for 9 by 12. But you can see it turned out pretty insane. Let's find a cool page here. This page I did on mushrooms. I always like to show this one right here with the Japanese lettering up there. But where are you? There you are. So for comparison, pretty wild, man. Original art is fucking awesome to look at, but you know, that's basically it though, man. And I highly recommend these portfolio books, man. They make everything look so fucking good. Everything is protected and all that shit as well. So there's actually some unseen stuff in here, I think. This has probably been seen, but some of this shit may or may not have been shown. This is the first time I drew Little Ricky right here. First appearance with Ralph pissing on his cake. And yeah, man, that's basically it. So I highly recommend someone or anybody pick up some tools, make yourself a comic, and you know, if you want to see more of Filthy Ralph, you can message me at cinema.187 and you can order the comics. You can order Cinema 187 comics, and you can also check out the Cinema 187 card set, which is a 16 card set, and they're all available for purchase right now. So there's a link tree in my bio. Check that shit out. And if anybody wants to get involved in the upcoming Q&A giveaway, just leave a comment on my Q&A video that I just posted the other day, and leave a comment or a question in the comments section. Do so before October 18th at 11:59 p.m. because I'll be doing the draw at midnight. And I look forward to reading all the comments and doing a fun live stream, man, because last week's live stream was out of fucking control. All right, and if you were there, then you know. If you weren't there, go the fuck ahead and watch the replay, man, because it's fucked. It's fucked. So, with that being said, deuces.